morning after a huge
Hi there,
fire
this video is called Lies. Extreme fire burning Luton
Five people have
Airport.
been taken to hospital
Video.
after breathing in smoke.
UK 23.
Greg Mackenzie has been there through the night
Times
for
down
BBC
there.
Breakfast.
And it is, you name it, 11th October 23.
Huge flames and smoke billowing
Whoa.
from the Terminal 2 car park. Many hundreds of people who were inside the airport
Jesus
awaiting
Christ.
flights were told to leave immediately.
Whoa, this is mental, man. This is tense, man. What's
There
that?
was this massive gout of flame that shot across the car park like a flamethrower. And then cars
terrorist related?
exploding. So every few minutes you just got another one, another explosion, another explosion.
I bet it's terrorist related.
Fire engines attended the blaze.
Wouldn't surprise
which was
me.
still burning into the early hours.
Crikey, this is quite a serious
and
airport.
6 firefighters suffered from smoke inhalation as
Crikey.
the car park fire spread.
Oh my God.
In an overnight statement, the airport confirmed the partial collapse of the car park and told passengers that all flights would be suspended until midday.
That's today.
Some
Bloody
confusion
hell.
here this morning. Many passengers trapped on the runway for hours. Many of them only just now being allowed to get off that plane
Oh
and
my
away from
God.
the airport.
That's crazy, man.
We were just told more or less leave. They weren't too sure if we did leave, would we get out?
My car's in the car park and we literally are just stranded here on this roundabout.
I want to get home, got work in the morning, like everyone else.
Access to the
Crazy.
airport is currently restricted and people are being advised to check with their airlines before travelling to Luton this
I
morning.
thought I had to fly from London Gatwick Airport or Heathrow Airport now.
Mackenzie reporting. You go live to him now
Crazy.
at the airport. And Greg, you can see from where you are the damage and the ongoing efforts to damp down.
Bloody hell.
You can indeed. Good morning. Now, just over
got to be
my
terrorist
shoulder,
related,
you
surely.
can see what remains of that multi-storey car park. 1,200
Oh my
cars
God.
were in there at the time.
It's crazy.
And you can just see in the
Look
middle.
like the aerodromes
it
of
has
Gatwick Airport
partially
years ago.
collapsed.
Who started it?
And what's left is the blackened
mystery, isn't it?
building of that car park.
Oh
at
my God,
Terminal
look
2.
at that.
Now, in terms of injuries,
That's not safe,
5
is it?
people injured. 4
Nope, I'm about to shut the
firefighters
airport
taken
for a
to
while.
hospital with smoke inhalation.
Can't have an airport
and
without a
also
car
member
park.
of the public. Now, the airport will remain closed to members of the public until midday today. The fire chief of Bedfordshire Fire Service is expected to brief the media in the next hour. But ultimately, many passengers that left here this morning off those planes that were left on the runway with them on board, they disembarked and they were simply told to evacuate and were left stranded by some of the airlines.
Blimey.
Many were left locally on motorways with their luggage and their children, just desperate. And
Oi,
wanting
oi,
to
oi,
get
who did
home.
this?
Many people's cars were obviously in that
We'll
car
find out in an
park
hour's
and
time.
in the neighbouring car parks. So many of them were taken to hotels, and many of the hotels opened their reception areas for them to sleep overnight. I
Well, that's the
went into
least they
quite
could
a few
done.
of them and spoke to people, and they simply said they had no information. They wanted to know how they were going to get home and who was going to help them. But there is a number of investigations. The police have launched an investigation, as to have the airport, and of course the Bedfordshire Fire Service, trying to determine the exact cause of the fire. It's believed that it was a car that caused that fire, an electric car, although it's not been confirmed.
Ooh, it's an electric car. That's the end of electrics altogether in the UK.
Indeed. And while Greg was talking to us, we've
Fascinating.
literally just heard from Luton Airport that flights are suspended till at least 3 o'clock now. So 3 hours.
Oh my
later than
God,
usual.
that's terrible.
We'll keep you up to date.
Oh,
on any further
airport was shut the
changes.
whole day at this rate.
The
There you
Labour
go.
Party cop.
See, like this video, please funds up on the left side of the screen. Please subscribe to my shot on Sun Age Evans, and yes, you can see.
Of course, briefly
That's
interrupted
it by
by
a
protesters
protester.
who poured glitter
What's that,
all
guys?
over him. Our chief political correspondent, Henry Zeffman, told us it was clear that everyone was taken by surprise.
In the hall, I think there was bewilderment how this man had managed to get so close to the leader of the Labour Party, who has...
It's like it's Mr. Richie Sunak's fault, in my opinion.
And then also,
Security's bad with him.
he was actually protesting
It's
in
mental.
favour of. Seems to be
There you go,
proportional
guys.
representation and a
That's
different
happened
way
yesterday.
of doing politics. Not that he seemed to have got his argument across favourably to the people in the hall, who were, of course, pretty angry with him. But look, once Keir Starmer got going, having taken his jacket off and brushed a bit of
Yeah, I remember that
his
yesterday. I saw it
shoulders,
live.
his speech went down incredibly well in the hall. I think better than any of the other speeches he's given in his time as Labour
I thought so
Party
too, mate.
And look, there was not some torrent of policy which some people had been urging him to offer, but what there was an argument about why he wants to be Prime Minister and about how the country
He
would be
told us
different
what he
if
thought.
he became Prime Minister. He talked about how the British people had had a difficult few years and how he thought he could heal.
Tell me about it. It's been very stressful
heal
with COVID
the
laws
division
and stupid
of
stuff like that
voting
with this
in the
Conservative
UK.
Party.
Now look,
I can't
Keir
forgive
Starmer
Boris. I
keeps
can't
saying
forgive Liz Truss.
no complacency. Yes, they're well ahead of the Conservatives in the polls, but they're taking nothing for granted. I'm sure that's true in his case. But wandering around the conference last night, I have to say, didn't take a few questions for me, with most people I was talking to, for them to admit to me they really do think that Labour is headed for government. Now look,
Of course it
the
is.
election isn't tomorrow, the election isn't next month.
It's their turn.
It might not even be in a year's time. It could be quite late next year, or perhaps even in January 2025. That's the latest possible time it could be. So there's a long way left to go. But the Labour Party's optimism has just completely transformed from when Keir Starmer became leader 3.5 years ago. And they really do think they are on track for government.
Henry
It's
Zephyr from
promising.
Liverpool there, and we'll go live to Liverpool and speak to Sir Keir Starmer, interview him in a few minutes' time.
There you go, guys.
In other news this morning, a second earthquake has hit Afghanistan just days
Oh
after
dear.
another one in the same region killed more than 1,000 people. The new one was 6.3 magnitude, struck north of the city of Herat.
The Earth's
Also
moving. So like, you'll able to subscribe to my show on Sunday. This is my friend Sparky and Jimbo on the ITF5 thing. Sorry Hills Race, the show every Friday, 3 to 5 p.m. analog. Additional, that is 1500, 1700 on the ITF5 thing. Sorry Hills Race, the show. And this is my friend John on Last Show live on the Wogan Race, the show every Sunday at 9 to 12 p.m. live on the Wogan Race, the show on Last Show. And listen to my friend Shane for the years, every 2 weeks on the Sorry Hills Race, the show in the afternoon on the Monday, 2 to 3 p.m. analog. Additional 1400, 1500. I'd like to be able to subscribe to on Sunday. There's a lot going on these days. Thanks for watching. Subscribe on Sunday. Bye.